Premier Heating and Air is now offering all homeowners up to $2,000 instant rebate and up to $2,000 federal tax credit with the purchase of a qualifying HVAC system. Financing available for all homeowners, so call Premier Heating and Air today and get up to $2,000 instant rebate and up to $2,000 federal tax credit with qualifying HVAC system. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company. Offer ends 11/30/23.
Fred Williams, the chairman, this year's chairman of the Dublin-Laurens Development Authority, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. I want to start out by saying it has been absolutely a great year. When we met last September, we laid out the Development Authority's plans for development at the Georgia Highway 257 rail service site. The plan was aggressive, and we were confident that it would pay off. Construction just finished up a couple months ago, and project activity has not slowed down. For the Georgia Highway 257 rail serve site alone, staff members have completed an unheralded 49 requests for information from manufacturing projects during 22 and 23. The state is heralding this site also, this development site, as a model for community preparedness throughout our great state. So what has happened since our last meeting? We've welcomed new industries and assisted existing companies in expansion, new companies such as Lear West and Uri, also Washington. They have made this their home and have put down roots here in our county and our community to work and grow with us, their industries, and also our workforce. But that's not all. Construction at the Entrepreneur and Small Business Park is complete, and Georgia Meadows' new facility is taking shape. And existing industries like DNX Emissions and locally grown GovStrive have expanded, and we're certainly excited about that. We will hear from a few more industries today in our time that is ours to share, but in the meantime, if you represent an industry located in Lawrence County, would you please stand so you can be recognized? Please stand, all of those who represent industry. These companies, these men and women that work here, they're our friends, they're our neighbors, they're our family members, and we're truly excited about them being a part of the lifeblood of our great community. And we at the Development Authority salute your efforts. And so again, we're just excited about you being a part of this wonderful community. The scope of our partners is also growing. In the past several months, industrial developers have acquired more than 250 acres of property for industrial development, and new job opportunities are sure to follow. But here's where the rubber meets the road. This year alone, industries located and growing in Lawrence County have committed to more than 750 new jobs and an overall private investment of $200 million. Yes, I'd say that it's a great year. None of this would have been possible, and I'm going to ask you to stand, without Vice Chairman Roger Foster. You would stand. Treasurer Jimmy Allgood. Board members Guy Cochran, Spence Mullis, Keith Griffin, and Phil Gay. Let's give them a hand, please. We also want to thank our staff, Ryan Waldrop and Beth Crumpton, for the wonderful job that they do every day to help this community be all that it is. Also, we want to thank our city, county, and state officials for all they do. And we certainly have a great team here in our community. And I've had two people come up to me to remind me of what I always say, the 5 B's. Be brief, brother, be brief. Mayor Bess and Representative Hatchett, they remind me of that. And so I had 5 Bs, but I'm a little older now, so I have a 6th one. Be brief, brother, be brief, and be gone.
If you noticed the news yesterday, as they threatened physical violence with each other in a Senate committee meeting yesterday, they're elbowing each other in the halls of the Capitol. Meanwhile, in Dublin, Georgia, we're all getting along. We're conducting business. We're prospering, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And in this season of thankfulness, I think we have a lot to be thankful for living in Dublin, Georgia. I've been asked, and happy to do it, to recognize all the important folks here. But I looked around this room, and everybody in this room is an important folk. To get an economic development project such as we have been working on the last few months, it takes a village. And I don't mean to quote Hillary Clinton, but it takes a village. It takes all of you, and all of you are on this team. Whether you want to be or not be, you're on this team. And we're so fortunate in our community to have the leadership that we have here in this community to make the decisions to take us forward in a time when the world's in chaos. I would like to recognize a few people. We're going to do it as groups. If we went individually, we'd be here 15 minutes, and the chairman's already given us his saying, and he conducts business that way. I know we have a few representatives from the Georgia Department of Economic Development. Would they stand and just let everybody know where they are? We appreciate you being with us. We're always happy to have Representative Matt Hatchett, who's an integral member of this team. Matt. And I know we have some county commissioners here. If they will please stand. County and the city are the funding mechanisms for this development authority. We always recognize them. What a team they are to work with. Mayor Kite and the Dublin City Council, I know we have some members here. And I understand we have Sheriff Larry Dean here too. Thank you. Now would everybody stand and give everybody a round of applause, because all of you are important. Please.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
School's back in, and we all know what that means. Let's go to the end. Oh! Whether it's football or softball or any other fall sport, Dublin Chevy GMC is here for you. Fall is in the air here in Middle Georgia, but the deals are still smoking hot at Dublin Chevy GMC.
And go. Turn it up, Trey. Turn it up.
The scouts say we can't catch, throw, or run well, but they all agree we sure do sell cars well at Dublin Chevy GMC.
Hey, my name's Chandler Gerard.
I'm Kyle Gerard with A+ Flooring and Construction. And here at A+ Flooring and Construction, we believe in teamwork.
Come let our team service you with flooring, construction, and garage doors.
So come shop with us at A+ Flooring and Construction at 371 Georgia Highway 338, or visit our website at aplusconstruction.biz.
Or give us a call at 478-676-2662. Thank you.
I'm Guy Cochran. I've been on the board for a while now. Roger, Jimmy, and I came on at the same time, and it's fun to watch some of the things happen that we've been working on for a while. But it's my honor to recognize two guys who have worked with us, and one rotated off a while ago, one's rotated off just recently. So first we're going to talk about Mr. Scott Beasley. Scott's no stranger to most everybody in this room. If you hadn't met Scott yet, you need to meet him. Some of our new folks, he's a great guy who has done a lot of things in this community. One that I'm very, very proud of is the work that Scott did at our VA hospital, restoring the lake, putting in the playground. This guy is the consummate team player. He's chaired this authority. He's been a part of a lot of the things that you've already heard Dr. Williams talk about. He was on that team. He decided it was time for him to rotate off in the summer of 2020. He picked I was the lucky guy that got to be chairman during COVID. That was a lot of fun, a lot of Zoom meetings. But Scott let us know he thought it was time for him to move on, and we have not been able to recognize him because of COVID, and then last year he was battling a little illness, wasn't able to make it with us. So at this time, I'm going to ask Scott Beasley to come up and receive this award. Say, where'd you go, Beth? Scott, on behalf of the Development Authority staff and the board members and this community, thank you for 13 years of incredible service. Thank you very much. I told him to keep it under 10 minutes.
I think the one word that tells you what's going on in this community is our people who work together and the government that works together. Togetherness is what has brought us all together, what makes us one of the top performers in the state of Georgia, and it's going to keep us going. I thank you for this. I thoroughly enjoyed serving on the Development Authority. I learned a lot. I learned one thing, that everybody has a little bit to offer. Everybody has the 2 T's. You have time and you have a talent. Bring them to the table, because we all need to be part of this. I thank you very much. I thank the authority, and I love you guys. Great leadership.
Thank you, Scott. And as all of you know, Scott's still very active in the community, doing a lot of things, a lot of good things. The next gentleman that we're going to recognize today has been on the authority for a good while, 23 years. So between James and Scott, you're looking at 36 years of incredible experience and leadership. And James was on the authority when Roger, Jimmy, and I came on. And we had, as you know, there's only 7 of us, so that was almost 50% of the board that flipped. And he was very patient with some young bucks that thought they knew everything. And, he handled that transition well. And his leadership has been recognized throughout the state. He's been involved with Georgia Farm Bureau most of his life. So James has become this board has been very rewarding. It's been an honor for me to serve with these guys who, as Scott just said, everybody's got a different talent. And we can't be more appreciative of the things that we've been able to do because of the city and county support. One of the first things that I was asked to do, and that James accompanied me in, was to get permanent funding for the Dublin-Laurens Development Authority. And we literally went to the city council and begged, and we went to the county commissioners and begged and told them what we wanted to do and why we wanted to do it, and they supported us. And that really did kind of allow us to take to establish the Office of Economic Development. So James, come on up. And again, 23 years of serving this community, a dear friend, and the most conservative person on the board, tight with every dollar you give him. And it's just been, I don't know what we're going to do, because James always offset Jimmy. So I guess maybe I'm going to have to fill that role now. James, on behalf of the Development Authority staff and the board in this community, thank you.
How many taxpayers do we have out there? I hope y'all all appreciate me being a little tight with the money. Look, it has been an honor and a privilege to serve this community. I've had the pleasure to work with some really good people throughout my 22 or 23 years. As I reflect back, there's been a lot of changes, and some things have stayed the same. I came on with Willie, and she'll tell you, we didn't have very much money to work with back when I came on board. We were on a shoestring budget, and guys already mentioned that we had to retreat, and we were on the funding committee, and we met and got some funding. But the big change was when SPLOSH was passed. That gave us the resources to make the investments in this community that needed to be made. And I tell you, the announcement we had 2 weeks ago wouldn't have been possible without SPLOSH. So I thank y'all for passing SPLOSH. Another change that guys mentioned was the leadership since I started here. There's the current members on the authority, none of them were there. None of them were there when I started. The mayor, city council, that's all changed. There were no county commissioners on the current county commissioners on the board when I started. So I've seen a lot of leaders come and go, but the one thing that has not changed is the current leaders that we have today are just as committed to growth and creating jobs in this county, and I appreciate that. I want to just take just a minute to thank a few people. I want to thank my wife for supporting me through these years, and I know there's Willie, there's Phil, there's some board members out here that were serving when I did. I want to thank my past fellow board members, city and county leaders that I served with early on. And I want Ryan and Beth, y'all stand up, and my fellow board members, y'all stand up. This is a great team right here. I didn't get an opportunity to work with Spence, but everybody else, we've been together for a long time. And I want to just tell you, we've had some tough decisions to make. We've had some victories. We've had some defeats that didn't go our way. But all in all, it's been a real good time with all of you. And I want to, especially the board members, I want to thank you for the volunteer time and effort you put in all throughout the year. And I want to thank you for all of you for your friendship. And it's just been a pleasure to work with all of you. Thank y'all. And I want to thank the mayors, the council, the commissioners. Where's Brian Rogers? There he is. He has always been there for us. I thank all of y'all for your support to the Development Authority. I'm going to close with one thing here. It's already been mentioned, but this community has a great reputation for working together. City, county, Development Authority. And that's why we've been able to be successful. You hear it often from consultants, from industry coming in. When they leave, they commend this community for working together. So I'm going to close with a challenge to the leadership, the city, county, and Development Authority. Y'all continue to work together in this this county, this community will continue to grow and will create jobs. Thank you all very much.
We have natural gas all over town.
Get yourself a natural gas tankless water heater and save space.
And have endless hot water.
Natural gas is more efficient than electricity.
And it's lighter than air.
When you install natural gas appliances,
you can get rebates up to $1,500.
The City of Dublin will finance you up to $7,500.
For 60 months at 0% interest.
Use natural gas for all your outdoor cooking.
it's a luxury.
We're on call 24/7.
You'll call us and we'll be there.
Whether you're building a home or starting a business, City of Dublin Natural Gas has you covered.
We serve commercial and residential gas all across town.
Yeah. Finish the drill with natural gas. Call your gas guys.
At 478-277-5048.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at Dublin-Laurens, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From mowing to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin-Laurens, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. For those of you who I haven't met, I'm Spence Mullis. I was appointed to the Dublin-Laurens Development Authority just a few short months ago in July by the Lawrence County Commissioners. I got marching orders from the commissioners as soon as they made my appointment that I needed to make something happen really fast. So commissioners, Jeff, Trey, Brenda, Jimmy, and Kevin, I'm honored to have delivered such a wonderful group of companies such as Washing and Worry in such a short amount of time. I hope I did not disappoint you guys. I heard a lot of laughter, and there needed to be a lot of laughter because that is totally a joke. Landing a project like Washing or Worry takes months and months to negotiate. I was just fortunate enough to come in on the tail end and see how the process really worked. Chairman Fred Williams, Jimmy Allgood, Roger Folsom, the other Development Authority members, Ryan and Beth, as well as the city and the county, did a phenomenal job in recruiting both Washing and Worry and ultimately convincing them to come to our community. And again, that happened long before I joined the authority. As a latecomer to the authority, however, I have been allowed to cover a small part on today's agenda and talk about something that we're all witnessing right now, and that's what's going on in the automotive industry in Georgia. Georgia's automotive industry, as you know, has seen tremendous growth, with projects increasing more than 300% statewide in just the last 2 years. It's no secret that the production of electrical vehicles specifically is driving much of this growth. I also have the opportunity to sit on the Atlanta Federal Reserve Community Bank Board. This board is comprised of 2 bankers from each of the Atlanta Fed's district, which consist of Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, and Louisiana. We meet a few times a year and we tell President Bostic what we're seeing on the ground in real time as it relates to our economies. I can tell you unequivocally, without a doubt, because I was just up at the Fed last week at this meeting,
that Georgia is the envy of the whole country. It's really the envy of the region that the 6th District Fed represents. 10 states across the country have received 80% of all the EV dollars that the federal government has directed towards the EV industry. 80% go to 10 states. Georgia is number 3, only behind Michigan and Tennessee. So it's huge. You guys have been seeing it, what we've done. You're seeing it every day, and it's only going to get larger and larger. So our governor and our state officials have been aggressive in pursuing the entire automotive supply chain. And I want to point out, this is not just EV specific. The governor, yes, we have gone after the EV projects, but he's concerned with the entire automotive supply chain. And the suppliers are attracted to Georgia because of our OEMs, or our original equipment manufacturers. And all these suppliers to date have already invested about $2 billion in our state. And as you know, Lawrence County specifically is benefiting from this growth in the automotive sector as well. Again, the recent location announcements that include Warri, Washington, and the expansion of Denix emission are just some of the examples of how our community is partnering with solid companies tied to the automotive sector. So now I'm going to call on Ryan Waldrop to come up and further this discussion a little bit this afternoon on why Dublin and Lawrence County specifically is the ideal for these companies. So Ryan, come on up.
I'm going to ask for a little bit of help. Thank you, Spence, for that. That was a really good overview of the automotive industry. I'm going to ask for a couple of folks to come up and help me talk about some things that we're seeing, not only across Lawrence County and the state, but some things that we're doing as well. So first of all, I'm going to ask HS to come up. David Hughes from Denix, and Kevin Hahn from Burr Foreman. If y'all don't mind coming up and having a seat on the stage, I'm going to quiz you guys. And so when I started in community development a couple of decades ago, Kia was just coming online. It had just been announced that Kia was going to build their new facility over in West Point, and automotive was the rage. And Miss Willie, I'm sure, where's Miss Willie at? I'm sure she can attest to that, and those were exciting times, for our neighbors over to the west. But it was also kind of one of those thoughts in the back of my mind. It's like, man, how cool would it be to work in a community where automotive was a major cluster? How cool would it be where automotive was the buzzword and people were really involved in that kind of manufacturing environment? Well, guys, guess what? We're here. It took us a few minutes to get there, but Dublin really is, in Lawrence County, is really becoming a hotspot for automotive, whether it's through expansions of our existing industries that have been here for the better part of 10 years, 15 years now, or new companies that are coming online because of advancements and increases down to the east in Bryan County. So what I'd like to do, we brought 3 fantastic companies up today that are here in Lawrence County. A couple are, one is a new company. One is a consultant that we've spent a lot of time with over the last several months, and then one is an existing industry. So what I'd like for you guys to do real quick, HS, we're going to start with you. Briefly introduce yourself and tell us what company you work for, and we'll just go down the line, then we'll ask a couple of quick questions of you guys.
Right, thank you, Brian. Well, before I explain about the Uri company, so there are 3 items what I spoke to audience. First, so meaning of the Uri, W-O-O-R-Y, as it is a Korean letter, but so one Korean letter has a very deep meaning. So Uri means is I and you and with all. So there's a different. Sometimes many guys use W-O-R-R-Y. So worry. So yes, I'm not gonna give you a worry about anything. So don't misunderstanding or misuse our company's name. Uri, W-O-R-Y. And a Korean idiom. This is a Korean idiom. So if we share our happiness, so yes, it goes multiply. But so if we share our sadness, then it goes down. So Uri means so all together. Yes, we can go together and then make a successful life. I hope. All right. So continuously explain about Uri company. So yes, here is some of the information about that. Well, first, you don't need to remember his name. His name is John Kim, who is the president of our company. But instead of his name, please remember my name, Hyun Suk Seo. Yes, just call me HS. What's your ID? Yeah. So actually, our business started in 2004 in Michigan, and it's, we provide engineering and quality service in there. So we got a good chance to develop and then invest to the Dublin here. So from 2023 this year and then next year, so we are start up our manufacturing and then delivery in the U.S. company, especially Hyundai, Kia, and then other Ford and the GM is waiting for us. Yes, the bottom of the photo, yes, headquarters office, we have 94 employees. And of course, here is a Woody global network. So East Asia, a lot of plan, and at this time, would like to introduce Woody company in Dublin. So we are going to start up next year.
David, we'll throw the microphone over to you next. The Denex, you guys announced a location here in Dublin back in 2012. Talk to us a little about some background on Denex. Give us a little bit of background on that, like the number of employees you may have, here at the facility, how big you are worldwide, and products that you make right here in Dublin. Just give us a good 50,000-foot view of Denex here.
Yeah, sure. So Denex is 40 years old. It's headquartered in Denmark. It's a privately held company by the Dinesen family, hence the name DIN-X exhaust. So nothing quite so highbrow. A much simpler name. So so 40 years. So the company has about 2,000 employees. It has 6 manufacturing sites across the world, and we're primarily concerned with emission control for heavy-duty vehicles. So our belief is that the air should be clean, and so we're proud to say that the emissions coming out of our exhaust systems are cleaner than the air going into the engine. So we think that's important. So here in Dublin, we've been here for 11 years now, and so we employ 100 people on site. And our objective is to make 95% of everything that we sell in the North American market here in Dublin. So that doesn't just mean the end products, that also means the components that go into those end products. So our investments in this area are not just about assembly, but also about the technology of how we build and how we develop products. And so you've all seen, I'm sure, back in the day, heavy-duty semi-trucks belching black fumes as they put their foot on the gas. And if you next time you're on the highway or on the road, you'll notice that doesn't happen. And that's in part to the technology that we're putting out in the marketplace to ensure that we all get to breathe cleaner.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
School's back in, and we all know what that means. Whether it's football or softball or any other fall sport, Dublin Chevy GMC is here for you. Fall is in the air here in Middle Georgia, but the deals are still smoking hot at Dublin Chevy GMC.
Train for a new career or go further in a field you love with education and skills training from Oconee Fall Line Technical College. OFTC offers 130-plus programs in high-demand fields that will prepare you for the workforce fast. That's 2 years or less. Classes are hands-on, giving students practical experience to be successful on the job. With affordable tuition and flexible classes, you can fit college into your lifestyle. Isn't it time you loved your career? Get started with OFTC today. Oconee Fall Line Technical College. Careers begin here.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And Kevin Hahn works for Burr Foreman. He's a consultant that we've worked with on a number of opportunities here in Dublin and Lawrence County. So, Kevin, we've had a good year. Dublin and Lawrence counties, we've had a very successful year. We've been very fortunate to have landed two really great South Korean companies. But, from your lens as a consultant, talk to us a little bit about what you think makes Dublin-Laurens, because obviously you travel to communities all over the state, you travel to communities all over the Southeast. What makes Dublin and Lawrence County a great place to do business right now?
Okay, right. So I primarily, in the case of the question, I'll talk to their behalf. So for a question specifically, one of the most important reasons for their locating in Dublin was because of the location. Their primary products are going to be supplied to both the new Hyundai plant in Savannah as well as the Kia plant in Georgia. So Dublin being right in the middle of those two locations was one of the most important reasons for questioning. The other reason that they selected Lawrence County was because of the labor pool. They've anticipated, because of the amount of focus and new companies that are currently investing in Savannah, they anticipate there's going to be a lot of competition for labor. So Lawrence County being close to the bigger cities in Macon and Atlanta and not having to go through that much competition is one of the reasons that they've decided to locate here. And then I would say the last reason is because of the site. I think the 257 site was awesome to them. I remember the first time I went with them to the site, and usually I advise my clients not to look so excited at the site. But yeah, I obviously failed. I could tell by their expressions that they really liked the site. And I think Lawrence County did a really good job of developing that site as an industrial complex for the future.
Well, thank you for that. As Roger mentioned a little while ago, that economic development is a team effort. It's a team sport. We use people and help bring people together from all different parts of the state and all different professions to help us do that. So I'm just going to plug right now Holmes Bell and his team with Hussey Gabel, with CJ and Evan. They were the ones that really were responsible for making Mr. Wong, when you walked on that site, your eyes lit up. We saw that, and your team lit up. So they're the ones that definitely are responsible for that. So y'all definitely outdid yourself, Holmes. Thank you for that. HS, I'm going to bring it back to you for a moment. Under the leadership of Governor Kemp, and as Spence mentioned, Georgia's become a hub for automotive industry, especially for the EV vehicles or electric vehicles in the U.S., and we're the envy of the country for that. But tell us why Georgia was the place that you felt you needed to be, because you're located in another state right now. Is that true? Where's your facility? In Michigan? Michigan, okay. Well, talk to us a little bit about why you think that Georgia is a great place for doing business as an automotive supplier.
Well, it's very simple, and there's no doubt about to select the Dublin city. So as you see the map, very attractive. One is a geometrical, the position of the Dublin. So there is a Savannah port, and then the east and the west. So it linked with the 16 highway system. So Dublin is middle of Macon and Savannah, and around there are a lot of Hyundai Kia plants. So, like I said, no doubt. So that is a great position of the Dublin and Lawrence County. That is a first, a good point to us to select our plan. The second thing is, probably you introduce about the GA statement, global commerce, and then there is one person who great support to us so far. His name is Jacob Lee, but he's not here absent today. Anyway, so he gave me a great support every day, every night, and then of course it is an honor to introduce you by myself that Ryan Ledra, who is the president of the Development Authority. You gave me a lot of love call every night, every day.
Hold on now, I don't know about all that.
So that is the main reason I selected Dublin. And then meanwhile, so I find out the great company, the name is, I'm sorry, yes. Sometimes I just figure it out, distinguish, Detroit and then W something, W Construction. The present name is Tom, and then his, employee, Brandon and Mike, they perfectly support and then very professional to us. So that's the reason I just did Dublin.
That's fantastic. I did not pay him to say any of that, by the way. David, you mentioned just a moment ago, too, that your goal is to produce 95% of the products that Denex sells in the United States right here in Dublin. Talk to us a little bit about advancements in the technology. Talk to us a little bit about, explain some of the things that you're deploying within the facility now, like robotics, and changes that we can expect to see in the Denex facility as your employees, and skill sets that you guys are going to need to make sure you can meet that goal.
So the world doesn't stand still, as we all know, and technology moves forward. And so it's exactly the same in the truck industry. And so what we made when we came 10 years ago is looking very different than the products that we make today. And in order for us to keep up, it's no good just throwing traditional skills and labour at those problems. So we need to equip ourselves, and our internal expression is that this is for us Denex Dublin 2.0. So we've had the first 10 years, and now we're moving into the next phase of our development. And so that's going to need more automation. So we can focus the skills that we develop locally on more sophisticated tasks. So if you're working on a plant now, probably what you're going to see over the coming years is that the tasks that you get given are going to be more sophisticated. So you're going to need to increase your skills levels. So that means that we're having to train the people that work for us now with new equipment and new processes. So we've had 4 new machines delivered during this financial year. At the beginning of next year, we see a multi-million-dollar investment coming to dramatically change our chemical and coating process. And so we're going to need people who can not only operate those machines, but also can support those machines and develop those machines for the generations of products that we're going to see that are released over the next 10 years. So that's on a manufacturing basis. We're going to see more requirements. And so we either have a choice. We either we develop our own people, or we work in partnership with education facilities to talk about what skills do we need to develop, so we've got people who are leaving education workforce ready. And then something that I'm extremely passionate about is finding people who are already in education and bringing them into the workplace, so we can start to develop not only their technical skills, but their workplace skills. I think we can all remember when we all left school or college and headed into work, and we realised that we still had an awful lot to learn. Right? I think it's our responsibility as a responsible employer to bring people into the workplace as soon as we can and start to develop those skills.
Winter's coming, so get ready for cold temperatures now by calling Premier Heating and Air. Get a heating and air system checkup for only $49. Our trained professionals will come out, inspect your unit, inspect your heater and duct system, and ensure it's ready for winter weather. Ask your technician about our indoor air quality products, as well as attic insulation, duct cleaning, and moisture barrier. Experience the Premier difference today and get a heating system checkup for only $49. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company. Offer ends 11/30/23.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at Dublin-Laurens, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From mowing to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin-Laurens, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Kevin, Georgia maintains offices in 12 strategic international markets, and we've had an office in Seoul since 1985. So Georgia is no stranger, certainly, to the South Korean peninsula. We're also home to more than 100 different facilities that employ more than 9,400 Georgians across the state. So what makes Dublin and Laurens County, we talked about logistics and location, but what else makes Dublin and Laurens County really a target area for continued growth from Korean companies?
So I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of Korean companies right now, mainly the EV battery sector. I'm seeing a lot of movement in biotech and also in the chemical industry. But what's kind of unique for the automotive sector is that many of the companies have prior experience locating in the U.S. So when they're selecting a site, they know what to look for. And the primary thing that they're looking for right now is the location and the labor force. Obviously, going through COVID and everything, I think more and more Korean companies are willing to locate in a more populated area, even if it means investing more upfront money. So that's a movement that I'm seeing. I'm also interestingly seeing that a lot of the Korean companies are understanding that their relationship with the community is very important. And so they want to be in a community where they can get more involved. They're valuing that much more. And I think it's a very important thing for these companies because in the long run, the relationship helps them much more than like any incentive that they get. So yeah, that's one of the key factors that are driving their decisions right now.
Great, thank you. HS, last question. I know you're ready for that, the last one, right? Share with us a little bit about some of your growth plans for the Dublin facility. This is an exciting new manufacturing facility for URI. Talk to us a little bit what your growth plans are here in Dublin and Laurens County.
Don't show me a slide.
You want that one?
Oh yes. Quickly introduce our product. So this is an EV car recently, probably Kia model. Anyway, so as you can see on the left side of the top, there is a high voltage of the PTC heater, and then the left low bottom is there is a coolant heater. So those are two things we are going to produce from 2024 and 2025. So those product is going to be assembled in the Dublin plant, and then from next year to 2027, we are going to grow up our hiring and the investment. So probably from 2027, those are many items we are going to produce, and then we will growing up. We are going to growing up 106 person of the employments at the time, and that is our fundamental our plan.
So you're seeing lots of good growth opportunities for the facility right here in Dublin.
Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you. David, you touched on this a moment ago with changing technology, with needing a different skill set of employees. What is Dinex doing right now to help make sure that you have the skill sets with your employees, that you're partnering with our local education institutions and are, again, complementing those? What are you doing at Dinex to help make sure that we've got the right skill sets that you're going to need to produce those products?
So I talked a little bit about the manufacturing skills, but the other part of it is that we also need to create intellectual property here. So we need to do the design. So the products that we sell are also designed in the US. And so that means that it's not just equipping and training the people who are building the products, but it's also looking at the opportunities to develop those skills with the universities and with the colleges for people who can help us create that intellectual property. And that intellectual property could be the design of a new emission control system, or it could be the design of new processes that build those emission control systems. So both are absolutely vitally important to us. And the only way that we're going to succeed is through partnering with in the end, DNEX without people here in Dublin is nothing. It's just a name on a building. What makes our company great are the people that we can find locally. And that's important because it needs to be local people. These need to be local jobs for local people. So we stop seeing the young folk leave. We start seeing the young folk stay in town because there are opportunities. There are opportunities to be educated, there are opportunities to be employed, but there are also opportunities to grow your career. And I think that's what we see as absolutely fundamental. And it's giving people the understanding that we have that path here within with our own organisation. And I can see through other organisations that are coming into town. And so I think that this will radically change, the prospects of a city like Dublin.
Great, thank you. Kevin, final question of the afternoon. I ask this question every time we have a project meeting, whether it's with our friends with the Department of Economic Development. I know I've done it with you as well. But what are some things that we can do as a community to be better prepared so that we're able to successfully attract new companies, new manufacturing industries here in Dublin and in Lawrence County?
Personally, through the project that we've worked together, I personally think that Lawrence County did a great job with Washington. Typically, when I'm going through a site selection process with a client, when it's narrowed down to one or two sites, there really isn't much of a difference. It's just pros and cons between these two sites. And what I'm seeing is there are constantly human factors that are applied to these decisions. And those human factors are the interest of the community, the first impressions of the community, and how well they were welcomed during the meetings and everything. And during our meetings, I experienced all the board members were mostly present during the meetings. I could tell that they were really passionate about the project. They really wanted to understand the company, and I personally think that was why Washington ultimately decided to come to Lawrence County. Areas of improvement, I think I'm finding a lot more companies finding difficulty in hiring more skilled and more supervisor level workers as opposed to the workers in general. So I guess that might be an area that you could focus on in the future.
Great. Thank you for that. Well, let's give our panelists a great round of applause for being with us today.
I want to thank them for sharing with us why they located here and all that they have shared with us in terms of what they plan to do while living, learning, and growing with us here in the Lawrence community. I want to thank each of you today also for being here with us and your commitment and investment in our community. Here's an interrogative. Has anybody seen a turtle upside down on the pole? If you have, that turtle didn't get there by itself. I think we might have a couple people in the room, and I know there's others, some have gone on to be with the Lord, but I do want to recognize Mayor Bob Walker and Ben Hall for their commitment and investment in this community as well, and the Development Authority. Let's give them a hand at this time. In closing, we're expecting a great year in 2024 as we see Uri and Georgia Meadows finish their facilities and begin hiring employees. And we're also expecting to see the continued growth of Lear West and the groundbreaking and construction activities with Washington in 2024. And we know it's going to be another great year. Again, we hope that all of you have enjoyed your time with us this afternoon, and we hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Meeting stands adjourned. God bless you.
We have natural gas all over town.
Get yourself a natural gas tankless water heater and save space.
And have endless hot water.
Natural gas is more efficient than electricity.
And it's lighter than air. When you install natural gas appliances,
You can get rebates up to $1,500.
The city of Dublin will finance you up to $7,500.
For 60 months at 0% interest.
Use natural gas for all your outdoor cooking.
It's a luxury. We're on call 24/7.
You'll call us and we'll be there.
Whether you're building a home or starting a business, City of Dublin Natural Gas has you covered.
We serve commercial and residential gas all across town.
Yeah. Call your gas guys at 478-277-5048.
Quality products and installation since 1985. That's 4 Seasons.